3.3.2, just some additional practice on elimination. We are going to be eliminating with standard form that does not need to have any numbers changed, only signs. So when we're working with these, again, we're looking at a term x or y that has the potential to cancel out. So my y's do not have the same number, but my x's do. So my x's have the potential to cancel out. I'm going to check my signs and see, do I need to change a sign, or will these eliminate without me having to change anything? And I don't have to change anything here because they are already opposite, so they are going to eliminate how they are. So we are going to combine our equations vertically. So I'm going to take negative 5x and positive 5x. When I put those together, they cancel out. Positive 4y and negative 8y, when I put those together, I get a negative 4y. And that equals a positive 8 and a negative 16. When I put those together, I get negative 8. My x is eliminated, which is exactly what I want. That's why this is called elimination. One of my variables eliminates, and then I can solve for my other variable. So in this case, I divide negative 4 to both sides to find that y is equal to a positive 2. Negative 8 divided by negative 4. Now that I have that, I can take my 2, y equals 2, and plug it into any equation. I'm going to use my top one. So I'm just going to rewrite it over here. Negative 5x plus 4, and then I'm replacing y with a 2. So I'm substituting 2 in for y, equals 8. So 4 times 2 makes positive 8. And then I have a two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Negative 5x equals 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. I divide negative 5 to both sides. And x is equal to 0. So now when I go to write my solution, I get my x value, which is 0, comma my y value, which is 2. Okay, so I'm looking for elimination potential. My y's are not going to eliminate, or they don't have great potential here because they don't have the same term. But my x's do have the same term, these 6's, and one is negative and one is positive, so they will eliminate without me having to change anything. So I'm going to put negative 6 and positive 6 together to cancel out. I'll put negative 5y and positive 1y together to get negative 4y. And negative 19 and positive 23 will leave me with a positive 4. I can now solve for y by dividing negative 4 to both sides, and y is equal to negative 1. Now that I know that, I can take it and plug it in for either equation. I'm going to plug it into my bottom equation here. So I have 6x plus, instead of y, I'm going to put a negative 1. Equals 23. This plus negative 1, if that's messy to you, which it is to me, I can just write 6x and then minus 1 equals 23. Now I can solve by adding 1 to both sides, so 6x equals 24. Divide 6, and x equals 4. And then we always write our solution as an ordered pair, our x value, comma, our y value. Excellent. So take a look here. My x's are not going to cancel out, but my y's will cancel out without me having to change anything. So I'm going to put my x values together, and that's going to leave me with negative 1x. When I combine my y values, they cancel each other out. They eliminate. And when I put my last bit together here, negative 20 and positive 18 will leave me with a negative 2. To get x by itself, I'm dividing negative 1 to both sides. and x equals positive 2. Now that I know that x equals positive 2, I can take that and plug it into either my top equation or my bottom equation. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to plug it into my top equation. It's your choice. So I'm going to say 5, and then I'm replacing x with a 2 plus 6 times y equals negative 20. So I'm going to do 5 times 2 to get 10 plus 6y. Got to write the 6 down. 6y equals negative 20. Subtracting 10 to both sides, so that 6y equals negative 30. When I put negative 20 and negative 10 together, it gives me negative 30. And then I divide 6 to both sides to find y is equal to negative 5. And then I always write my solution as my x, comma, my y. Okay, number 4. I'm looking for what's going to cancel out. My 4x and my negative x will not cancel out, but this positive y and negative y will cancel out. So I'm going to put these together vertically. I don't need to change anything. 4x minus 1x is 3x. Negative 1y and positive 1y cancel out. And 5 and negative 5 also cancel out, but I'm going to put a 0 as a placeholder. So 3x equals 0. I can divide 3 to both sides. And x equals 0 divided by 3, which is 0. X can equal 0. That's fine. We are going to take that value and plug it in. Top or bottom equation, it doesn't matter. I'll choose the bottom equation. So negative times 0, because that's what my x was. So negative times 0 plus y equals negative 5. And a negative times 0, all that mess, would really just make 0 plus y equals negative 5. And 0 plus y, well, that's just kind of a placeholder there. So y just really equals a negative 5. And then our solution, x, comma, y. All right, let's take a look at our next set here. For these ones, we are looking for elimination potential. So it looks like in this one our y's can eliminate, but in order for that to happen, we need to change the sign in our either equation, really. We've been changing just the bottom equation for the most part, but we could totally change the sign in the top as well. So if I were to go through and scale this by using a negative to all of 3 of my terms here, every term in my equation, it's still equal, it's still balanced. So if you think about if this was on a scale, if I change everything, it would still be balanced, but now my signs are going to be different. So I'm going to take the opposite of negative 2x to get positive 2x, the opposite of positive 2y to get negative 2y, and the opposite of negative 6 to get positive 6. So I took the opposite of each one of these, and that's what gave me this value over here. I'm going to rewrite my top equation. That one does not need to change. So I have negative 5x plus 2y equals negative 21. And now I've created an equation like we had up top. I'm going to put these two together to get negative 3x. I'm going to put these two together. I know I kind of, there we go, kind of blocked my signs there with my red circle, but negative 2x and, positive 2y, negative 2y cancel out. And then negative 21 and positive 6 will leave me with a negative 15.